You were born for exactly this moment and exactly this challenge. It's true, and that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. Don't get too down on yourself with what is going on in this world. Cursing why we are living in a very troublesome and turbulent era. I'm going to tell you why everything's going to be okay and why you're needed, because you are. So before I start on this windy day, windy, breezy, lovely midsummer's day, I hope you can hear me. Incidentally, before I start, I think I'm more or less up to date on the comments. I've still got a few to answer. Always try to respond to all your comments because I really do appreciate your contributions. They're really valuable, and all of your support. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and continue to leave me those comments. And if there's anybody that you feel would benefit from today's video, please share with them. So, depends whether you believe in destiny, whether things happen for a reason. I think I do. I know that many people, myself included, have always felt a sense of unease in their lives, like something just doesn't stack up, something just doesn't feel right. Why can't people see things in through a broader lens? Maybe some kind of disturbed energy field that's just always there, but you've never been able to quite explain it. Whereas others just seem to just carry on in this kind of quite metronomic and conformist, obedient manner. I know a lot of people have always felt maybe a sense of discomfort, feeling uncomfortable with other people, with the way things are, with the system. And there's a reason for that, isn't there? Because we were picking up on the fact that something fundamentally was very wrong in our world. It's now manifested for all to see. Granted, there are still many who can't or won't see it. I truly believe that some people are born for the good times, maybe to lead, to inspire, and to, create, to improve society, I don't know. And some are born for the hard times. I think I'm one of those people that was born for the hard times. And I think a lot of my subscribers are as well. We were meant for this era. We were meant for this era because we kind of saw it coming. We could feel it coming. We know what's going on, and we know what needs to happen in order to defeat the dark forces that are encircling this world. I've always, do you know what, it was ever since I went to Auschwitz in 2000 and, what year was it? Been twice, 2007, I was 25, a very immature 25-year-old. But even then I was interested in history, I was very open-minded. And as I say, there was always, I wasn't particularly happy with my life and the way things were. Wasn't mature enough to be introspective enough at that point, but could just feel that something wasn't right. Anyway, I had an interest in history back then. But when you go to Auschwitz, I don't know whether anyone's been, it does shock you to the core. It's not even what happened, it's the scale of it. And it's the scale of the Holocaust. And not just that, what went on in the Russian Revolution, and then under Stalin, what Mao did in China, Pol Pot, and then just go back. Let's go back to every single century across the world throughout the eons of human civilization has involved frequent periods of hysteria, derangement, and mass killing. Human beings essentially struggle to form civilized societies, which is why the last 50, 60, 70 years has been an aberration. A miracle, actually, but an aberration. And I've always, like I say, when I went to Auschwitz and saw the scale of that, it was the scale of things, the magnitude. It was the fact that in order for the mass killing to happen, the masses needed to perpetrate it. And that set me thinking on this path about society and about the human psyche and the human condition. And ever since then, I think I've been pretty introspective. I always wanted to make sure that for all my faults, that I knew where to draw a line, and that I would never, if the time came, agree to do something that I knew was unconscionably bad. And I've stuck to that, although I've made many mistakes and I have much room for improvement. But as soon as I saw that, it set me thinking. It made me realise how societies can degrade so quickly. It set me on an understanding about, like I say, human nature and what it is, and also the dynamics of power. And as I've, in those intervening years, read about history, and I'm more interested in modern European history, 20th century, and I'm by no means an expert or anything like that. But I also find historical periods that involve mass bloodshed, terror, tyranny, particularly interesting, because they tell us who we are and what will happen very, very easily if we're not on guard. So all those intervening years I've been reading, watching the YouTube videos, the Russian Revolution, Hitler, the Great Leap Forward in China, you know, the Crusades and the Spanish Inquisition and the witch trials and all the rest of it, but you can go on and on. Ivan the Terrible. And it's like I've always known. Not even deep down, like logically, I've known our time for that will be upon us. Certainly in my life, it's come quicker than I anticipated. I thought maybe 10 years, within 10 years, but no, manifested and it's arrived incredibly quickly. And I think the fact that so many of us have felt that discomfort, and we felt that things just don't seem to make sense. Why are people so close-minded, myopic, obsessed with following the same paths, not questioning any of this? What's this all about? The sun? What? The sky? The heavens? No. So highly conditioned to an unbelievable degree. It wasn't us. There was never anything wrong with us. We could just feel it, that something was very, very wrong. So that gives us an advantage. It puts us at a disadvantage in that we can see this world for what it really is, and the disharmony, you know, that leads to inside our souls and our hearts. But if we choose to deal with that in a responsible way, to deal with it and become enlightened, we then create for ourselves a destiny. We create for ourselves a life that is far more meaningful than it would be, in my opinion, if times were easier. And all those decades that were spent, the good times as they may be called, which jobs for life, pensions, holidays, second homes, but even more importantly, no flood, famine, disease, terror, dictatorship or war. But all the time, as many were following the well-trodden path, thinking that was the only way to live, in the background dark forces were staring, and on some energy level, I think I could feel that, and maybe you could as well. So now here we are, as people are waking up in the masses, scared and terrified. We may be scared and terrified as well, but we understand it. I understand it. I understand it enough to be able to make sense of it. By looking back at history, by examining the human condition, by understanding the dynamics of power. I understand it, and I now understand how a brave few, I say few, in comparison to the population of the world, they are few, but they are millions in number. A brave number of people, I know, are now going to shoulder that responsibility, and are shouldering that responsibility to lead the way out of this. However tough it may be, and you know what? No matter how tough it is, what do we want out of life? Do we want an easy life, or do we want a life where we can find incredibly deep meaning and purpose? Where we have the opportunity to burn brightly against the darkness that threatens to envelop us, but which ultimately won't. Well, that's the era that we were born for. We weren't born for the good times. We were born to create the good times. And create them we will. So, if you're feeling down on yourself, if you're feeling like you're not strong enough, if you're feeling like you can't take it anymore, you're needed. You have a sense of destiny. You were born for this moment, this era, this generation, and for this challenge. You were. We were. The others, they weren't. And they're looking to us for leadership. And just as how every other generation past, when faced with horrible levels of tyranny, every generation has produced their leaders and their people to inspire. The trailblazers, the ones who'll say no, the ones who'll lead by example, the ones who'll stand strong and stand firm, and most importantly of all, never compromise on their morals, no matter what. And I think if enough of us feel this, we'll also feel that we're protected, because I do. I can't really explain it, but almost like everything's going to be okay for me, because I feel I'm needed, and that's good enough for me. An invisible hand will protect you no matter what happens. So there you go. Keep this in mind. Share it with anyone who you think needs to hear this. And I hope it's resonated with you. I will be back with another video very soon. But for now, bye bye.